All right, so you, just whenever you are ready to start telling me about, what happened with Andy, when he was a child.
Well, Andy today is 32, and at that time he was a little less than 2. And we built a house with a swimming pool, and we realized we had to do one of two things. Either we had to fill up the swimming pool and do away with it, or we had to teach him to swim. And we opted to teach him to swim, or to have Charlotte Whitesides to teach him to swim. And Charlotte taught him to swim before he was 2 years old. And sometime probably between the age of 2 and 3, it was in the wintertime, and it was probably in November or so, and we hadn't covered the pool up yet. And we were in the living room, and he come walking in, he was dripping wet. And we looked at him, looked at his tennis shoes, how they were just ringing with water. And he said, "Me fell in the pool." "What do you mean you fell in the pool?" He said, "Well, me fell in the pool." And of course, the problem with Andy, he never had a fear of water. He'd walk out of the house, walk across the deck, and get to the edge of the swimming pool, and he didn't break stride. He'd go right on in the water. And that's the reason why we knew we had to do one of those two things. So here he was, 2.5 years old, and out there by himself in freezing weather, not freezing, but cold weather. And he goes in the pool, and it's probably 30 to 40 degrees outside. And he comes walking in and says, "Me fell in the pool." I said, "Well, how'd you get out?" And he said, "Me swim." and so his ability to swim and to stay afloat via Charlotte Whitesides, his life was saved if it hadn't been for that. And in all reality, if he hadn't ever learned to swim, he would never been in that position, we hope.
Yeah.
But he was in that position, and it was critical. So my wife and I both have always been indebted to the YMCA for saving my son's life.
About that. It's amazing what you think about years later, and now Andy's 32 years old,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
knowing that when he was 2, he might not even.
Well, and my other son, who is 5 years older, he always had a real intense fear of the water. I mean, maybe not too bad, but when Rusty would get in the water, he'd hang on to the edge of the pool. When Andy walked in the water, he just goes right on out the deepest water. And so he just didn't have any fear of the water.
Yeah.
And I think this has probably happened to Charlotte and to the YMCA program many times.
Yeah.
Where kids learn to swim that would not have learned to swim had it not been for the Y.
Yeah.
It's just been a fantastic program for many, many, many years, and still is.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Titus. Appreciate that.